Welcome to the Battle Zone.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall, introducing first, being accompanied by Spring Tiger, running up the Unified School of the Tiger style, Tiger Balls 3!
AWL Strong and Free episode 46 kicking off with singles action as the tag team partners of the champion and challenger in tonight's main event take to the ring, basically to make sure nobody has enough energy left to interfere in the main event. And it gives everybody some reps, including two men who don't get a lot of singles matches, and that is Tiger Mask 3 and this man, Matt Classic 2, son of a legend. But he's really been sort of subsumed into the tag team lately.
And his opponent making his way to the ring from the Independent Circuits, Matt Classic 2!
It's Reiwa Resu time! That's right, the new generation, the modern generation of professional wrestling, the Reiwa Jidai generation. Of course, actually, I don't think Matt Classic 2 has had a singles match since the brand split. I think he was doing that Reiwa Wrestle Time thing back in Japan. Of course, we're here in Canada now, in the GTA, the Greater Toronto area, as part of AWL Strong and Free, but hey, you know what? Wherever you are, it's still the Reiwa Jidai. It's still the Reiwa era in the Japanese calendar, and Matt Classic 2 doing an imitation of a guy who tends to get sick a lot, apparently. But this will be a one-on-one match, the Tiger style versus the innovated version of the Matt Classic style, traditional American pro wrestling. No W involved, just wrestling. It's 10 minutes on the clock, and a beautiful Hurricane Run of gravity-defying action starting us off, and we haven't even hit the first 10 seconds of the contest. You know what? If you're liking this kind of wrestling action, give us a subscribe, like, share, do the comment thing, you know, all of that YouTube stuff. Absolutely fantastic. Ring the bell for notifications, all that fun stuff. Standing moonsault from the All-American Matt Classic 2. Oh, and immediately a spin into a label lock, it looks like. Yeah, I think that's a label grip on the hands there. And taking Tiger Mask 3 by surprise, Enzigiri as well. Again, we have not seen Matt Classic 2 in singles action in certainly months, maybe even over a year. I don't know. His father challenges the partner of Tiger Mask 3, Black Tiger Justice, for the AWL Grand Championship in our main event. We have a grudge match. No disqualifications, no countouts, everything goes between the Joshi champion and her former tag team partner. We have the debut of a brand new Augment, we've got tag team action, everything and more here on AWL Strong and Free episode 46. But right now we are on the outside of that AWL 20 by 20 foot ring. Matt Classic 3 recovering from a bad missed top rope leg drop. And Matt Classic 2 looking to take advantage of the error by the Tiger. Up, down with a neck breaker. You can't win the match on the outside, but you can certainly lose it. You can do a lot of damage. Oof! Fortunately for Tiger Mask 3, we have those rounded ring posts, so it's a blunt force trauma. Less of a cutting edge there. In and out of the ring goes Matt Classic 2. That will reset the count at 1. These two have all the time in the world here. Small pack. Oh, super kick, a thrust kick. One half of the intergenerational thrust kicks, as a matter of fact. Collar and elbow tie-up, vertical sit. No, wait a minute, he's going perfect plex. No, small package driver, excuse me. Matt Classic 2, of course, trained from the cradle by his father, Matt Classic Sr., the #1 contender to the Grand Championship. But he has innovated. He's gone through the independent circuit, around the United States, around Canada, around the world, and he's picked up these little tricks and these tips from everybody, from these wrestlers in these VFW halls and these fire stations and these bingo halls and all of these little arenas around the world. He's picked up these tricks and techniques and skills and styles that truly made him an innovator of professional wrestling. And finally, both men return to the squared circle where they belong. You can see Spring Tiger there. One half of Dragon and Tiger, who are in contention for the Joshi Tag Team titles. We will be having a Joshi Tag Team Fight for 4 a little bit later tonight. Oh, punch right to the face by Tiger Mask 3. Let's take a quick look at the win-loss records here going into this match. Taking a look at AWL Strong and Free. Tiger Mask 3, 42 wins and 36 losses in his AWL career. That puts him on the positive side of the ledger at least. But he's right there with Matt Classic 2, 48 wins, 42 losses, which means they are tied with a ratio of +6 wins minus losses. And it's that ratio, wins minus losses, that determines everything in the AWL. That gets you berths in tournaments. That gets you contenders matches. That gets you Fight for 4 matches. That gets you opportunity to become a champion. And in professional wrestling, that's what it's all about. And that looked like a modified version of Shinji Dai's Sunrise. Once again on the outside, the 20 count begins. Now this match goes to, ripcord knee. Very common move on the independent circuit these days, the ripcord. These two have been brawling all over the ring. What does this portend for the AWL Grand Championship match a little bit later? DDT! Wheelbarrow DDT into the cover. 1, 2, 2.5. Matt Classic 2 able to kick out of that beautiful mid-air change of direction. And another DDT. Matt Classic 2 in trouble here as Tiger Mask 3 working over the head and the neck of his opponent. That could be a setup for the Tiger's Maw. That's that cross-throat submission maneuver. Or it could be here, a good old-fashioned Tiger suplex, but does not hold for the bridge. That could be a fatal mistake. Both of these men looking for a rare singles victory, rare singles opportunity. 1, 2... And not only does Matt Classic get the shoulder off of the canvas before the final and fatal 3 count, he crosses the plane of the ropes as well. Belt and suspenders, defensive strategy by Matt Classic Sr. We're getting a Fight Forever chant, and it's only match number 1. We got a total of 6 matches for you tonight, folks. Including a Grand Championship main event, a new Augment, a grudge match, all sorts of stuff. Men's and women's tag team action. And it's all to come here on the Animated Wrestling League. And that small package driver doesn't hook the legs together and not able to complete the small package. But the classic claw is locked in. Inherited by his father, he may be the innovator, but sometimes the old techniques still work. The tap out like crazy. And Matt Classic 2, with, like I said, a rare singles opportunity. And he makes the most of it with a clean submission victory. Let's take a look at that one more time. The classic claw perfectly applied. His dad will be a proud papa, and he could do that to Black Tiger Justice tonight and become the new AWL Grand Champion.
Here is your winner, Matt Classic 2.
That moves Matt Classic 2 up to 49 wins and 42 losses, ratio now of +7, which moves him up in the overall rankings, as a matter of fact. Last week, we saw the Suplex Master take the AWL Canadian National Championship. Now it's time for a matter of tag team vengeance. A belated Happy 4th of July and Happy Canada Day to all who celebrate either.
The following tag team contest is scheduled for one fall, introducing first, making their way to the ring from New York City, New York, and Calgary, Vermont, Alberta, Canada, the Arab American Dream, All-Spawn, most Canadian man in the world, Kid Canada. Together they are T49P.
Team 49th Parallel, with a 1-1 record this season as a tag team. Two former Contenders champions. Of course, Hassan there on your right, a Grand Slam champion of the Animated Wrestling League. Now there's the new Canadian champion.
Making their way to the ring, originally from Minneapolis, Minnesota, now residing in Las Vegas, Nevada, the Technical Wizard, Lee Masters, and the reigning Animated Wrestling League Canadian National Champion, the Suplex Masters, Sammy Nick. Together they are the New Classic.
And they are currently the number 3 rank in the AWL Best 4. Keep that in mind. Should T49P pick up the victory here, that will get them into title contention and could very easily cost the New Classic's significant rank. There's no such thing as a throwaway match in the Animated Wrestling League. Everything counts for the win-loss records, except for tonight's grudge match. But right now, it's about tag team dominance, and we've got two very accomplished tag teams here. Hassan has held the tag team titles with more partners than anyone else in the Animated Wrestling League's 21-season history. However, the team of the New Classics hold the record for most title reigns for a single duo, and that is at 6 championship reigns, of 6-time World's Tag Team Champions, Speared by the Technical Wizard Lee Masters, the MMA expert, into the cover 1. And of course, he's been a professional wrestler almost, actually, longer than he was an active MMA practitioner. Though I know the way he keeps in shape, he could go back into the cage next week if he felt like it. Tag made to the Suplex Master. Oh, swing and a miss. Hassan. I'd say in a striking game, the advantage goes to Hassan, but if we get technical and we start grappling, we start throwing those back suplex, well, just like that, that's going to be advantage to the Suplex Master, Sammy Nix. Sammy Nix, the ultimate Grand Slam champion of the Animated Wrestling League. AWL Grand Championship, World Tag Team Championship, Intercontinental Championship, Canadian National Championship, the Shogatsu Taikai. He has done everything there is to do. He is the reigning Canadian National Champion. If he's able... Oh, wait a minute. Ministerial suplex. And look at the flexibility for a veteran, for a man who's been in wrestling for 20 years. Coming to the end of his 20th year pro. For him to still have that suppleness of body, that level of body agency to pull off a ministerial suplex is remarkable. Absolutely incredible ability. But a back suplex from the Canadian as one of the last students at the legendary Stu Hart Dungeon. Tags in the Arab American Dream, the Human Paradigm Shift, the Arab American Babyface, an AWL Season 0 original. Looking for the tag here. Are we going to see it? Yes, we are. Lee Masters coming in. 2 Americans wrestling in Canada. That's going to... Oddly enough, the AWL fans don't seem to care. They seem to like all of these guys. They may be American, but they're still good people. Vertical suplex with 12.5 minutes on the clock. And it's interesting that both Hassan and Kid Canada are going for the suplexes here. Almost trying to send a psychological message to Sammy Nix, quite possibly. And again, last week was that shocking championship match. Kid Canada knocked out after an exploder suplex, causing a really unexpected championship change. And of course, both of these men had challenged Kid Canada for the Canadian title. All pre-arranged contenderships have been wiped clean from the Canadian National Championship picture. It's open season. So if you're out there and you want to wrestle for the Canadian National Championship, call the AWL Commissioner's office. make your case, line up, open challenge. 5 successful title defenses, and you can automatically cash in for a shot at the AWL Grand Championship. You don't have to do what Matt Classic did. You don't have to go through the best 4. That can take months or even a year to get from Fight for 4 to title match. But if you got the Canadian National Championship or the Intercontinental title and you complete them, you get your 5 title defenses, you jump the line. Collar and elbow tie-up here. American leg sweep by the Arab American Dream. I'll point out that both of the contenders' titles, Sammy Nix and Chiba Akagi, are at 0 title defenses, so the Grand Champion has no risk of a challenge from the contender's title at any point in the near future. Honestly, I'd be surprised if it happened this season. One arm, big back body drop. One quick kick out by the most Canadian man in the world. He very recently has gotten extremely angry at the sky. He's the most Canadian man in the world. Ooh, face first into the kneecap. Of course, Kid Canada wears his knee pads under his tights. He's allowed to do that. Elbow drop by Lee Masters. And while Lee Masters, like Sammy Nix and Hassan, is a Season 0 original, has been with the AWL since the very beginning, Kid Canada has been here, I believe, since Season 2.
5 minutes have elapsed. 10 remaining.
So these are 4 of the top veterans of the Animated Wrestling League. Kid Canada comes into this match 66 wins, 59 losses, ratio of +7. Sammy Nix doing a bit better, I think, than that at the moment. He is currently 93 wins, 78 losses, ratio +15. Hassan just been tagged in. He's a member of the 100 Wins Club, 103 wins, 92 losses, +11. Lee Masters, 88 wins, 78 losses, +10. If the New Year's tournament were to be held today, all 4 of these men would have earned a berth in that most prestigious of AWL tournaments. Collar and elbow tie-up. Belly-to-belly slam. Is that a suplex? Is it a slam? It depends on your definitions. There's no bridge, so you can argue it's not necessarily a suplex. But we all know what this is. It's the most Canadian wrestling move in history. It's the sharpshooter. It's the sharpshooter. Call it the sharpshooter. Call it the Salsoni Gatame. Call it whatever you like. All Canadians are born knowing how to do the sharpshooter. It's imprinted genetically. It's in the Canadian genome to know how to do a sharpshooter. They make you do it on the citizenship test, as a matter of fact. Clothesline. And a German suplex rolled into the Dragon suplex. And that's the 3-headed monster, the Chimeraplex. But it's on the wrong guy. Belly-to-belly slam, a bit of a receipt from earlier, perhaps. Hassan down and out. This is a 2-on-1 affair. Now the referee not going to be counting Hassan out for the disqualification 5 count until he gets back to his feet. Hassan immediately vacating the ring. No harm, no foul there. Soul food into the bare feet. An unusual choice. Very few wrestlers choose to wrestle in bare feet. Well, or in the wraps. The foot wrappings that Lee Masters does, but he says it works for him. Gives him a better feel of the ring, especially when he's stomping on people. I don't know, I think some good leather-soled wrestling boots would do you a whole lot better. But then again, I'm not the technical wizard. I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm just the idiot who calls this stuff. I'll point out, legal combatants right now are Sammy Nix and Kid Canada, but a huge powerbomb and a stunner clearing both of the partners away from ringside. Electric chair suplex by the suplex master, going for a shot at the leg, and that's actually pretty smart. Take away the legs of Kid Canada, you take away most of his offense. But what do we have here? We're going to go German. Yes, we're going to try to put together the three-headed beast. Yes, we are. Chimeraplex, the move that won him the Oshogatsu Taikai years ago. Boom, into the cover. 1, 2, no, broken up by Hassan. Good grief. By the way, it was 2017 that Sammy Nix won the New Year's tournament. We have history here in the AWL, and we acknowledge our history. Everything counts, everything matters. Now wait a minute, going for a traditional dragon suplex on the outside. Less than an inch of padding in that mat. It's there to prevent abrasions, it's there to keep the wrestlers from denting the floor with their bodies, more than it is to protect the wrestlers. Over the shoulder, power slam. These guys have been wrestling for over 9 minutes already. Ministerial suplex! Of course, you can't pin him on the outside, so don't even bother with the bridge. 5.5 minutes roughly as the referee's count gets up to 8 before both men return to the ring. Oh, diving tag, in comes Hassan! And Hassan floats over, hits a DDT, and it looks like... Yeah, that looks like... that's blood. Sammy Nix busted open off of that DDT, went forehead first into the canvas. The ring is... And wait a minute! The American version, he calls it the... He calls it the American Sniper, his version of a sharpshooter. But broke him up by Lee Masters, and right now Hassan needs to be pressing it to his advantage. He needs to be going after Sammy Nix. He does not need to be giving Sammy Nix this kind of recovery time. Hassan allowing his attention to be divided, and that allows Sammy Nix to get back to his feet and back in control of the match. That could have been that was a mental mistake. And Hassan is no rookie. He's been doing this for years. In fact, I think these two came into the AWL pretty much at about the same time. Very, very close, within months of each other. And yeah, you can see the cut above the left eye now of Sammy Nix starting to bleed. If that's above the eye, that's going to get into his eye, that's going to get into the vision. And of course, you start tasting the copper of your own blood, that coppery taste. Kick to the midsection, double underhook, suplex, the butterfly suplex. He's going to go for that knockout exploder, perhaps. No, he's going to the rear. German, going to go for the Chimeraplex. Yet again, that triple combination. Like I said, that was the move that won him the Oshogatsu Taikai, and he's won him a lot of his 93 wins in the AWL, just not this one, not quite yet. 3 minutes and change. Exploder, and there's another knockout. You drop a man on his head too many times, you will knock him unconscious. The most Canadian sharpshooter. Broken up. Oh, yeah, I think that was the exploder that knocked him out last week. But now, Sammy Nix has KO'd both members of T49P and picked up his 94th win.
The new Classic.
They also maintain their tag team rank. And of course, we will have a doctor backstage take a look at that cut on Sammy Nix as soon as possible. These two teams excelled in the four-way eliminator last week, so we're giving them another chance to earn title contention. Of course, Willow Nightingale coming off a recent hard loss over in Japan. Let's see if she can bounce back in tag team action.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall, and it is a fight for four. Already in the ring, the tag team combination of Edith, Surreal and Willow, Nightingale. And their opponents making their way to the ring from the realm of the Yokai and Strong Surreal, accompanied 25 Manipulator. Tag team combination of Nekomusume and Wild Thing. Here they are, Monster Union.
While both of these teams performed well in the Tag Team Eliminator last week, they are tied when it comes to number of wins this season, 1 win apiece. And that actually puts them at the top of the ranks of people who are not currently in the best 4, at least for this side of the roster. Willow, Nightingale, and Edith Surreal on their second match as a tag team. And I did make an error last week. I said that these two had worked together as a tag team before. That is actually not true. I got that wrong. Willow, Nightingale, Edith Surreal, the Babe with the Power, and the Ephemeral Queen together for the first time here in the Animated Wrestling League, though obviously they have crossed paths multiple times, especially back during the Chikara days. Monster Union has been a tag team for several seasons, of course, and they are currently 1-3 in tag team action. This will be a one-fall affair. Standard AWL rules will apply. The Babe with the Power, who recently lost the Strong Openweight Women's Champion to Julia of Stardom fame. Looking to make a bit of a comeback, looking to rebound from a difficult loss from probably the most prestigious championship she's ever held. And of course, she will always be the first ever Strong Openweight Women's Champion. Tag made to the Ephemeral Queen, Edith Surreal, looking to pick up a big win here. Now, she has not had a lot of wins in the Animated Wrestling League. Edith Surreal actually 1-6. The win that they picked up in the Tag Team Eliminator last week, Edith Surreal's first victory in the Animated Wrestling League. Of course, she is an incredibly well-traveled professional wrestler. She's competed in over a dozen promotions in 2023 alone. She bounces all over the United States independent circuit, and we are very happy to have her here in the Animated Wrestling League, though she's probably not happy having to deal with a literal cat girl and a frickin' werewolf. 15 minutes on the clock in this standard match, and we will have the fourth and final member of the AWL Best 4 rankings. Currently Yin and Yang at number 1, UK Gen 2 at number 2, appropriately enough. They both on the AWL Hontai side of the roster. Dragon and Tiger, Dragoness and Spring Tiger, won that 4-way eliminator last week to join the Best 4 at rank 3, and the winner tonight, rank 4. A huge headbutt from the werewolf into a knee drop right across the chest, it looked like. Yes, right across the chest of Edith Surreal. Surreal, a very technical wrestler, trained originally at the Chikara Wrestle Factory, and now actually training under Cheeseburger, of all people. And of course, plying her craft all around the United States, and here in Canada as well. Tag made, tag Kogeki opportunity, feeds in, oh! Assisted power slam. The cats and dog wrestling together, mass hysteria into the cover. One, Edith Surreal reverses the polarity of the neutron flow and picks up a deep 2 count with 12.5 minutes on the clock. Tags in AEW, Ring of Honor, and AWL's own Willow Nightingale. Irish whip off of the ropes, looking for the belly-to-belly, but broken out of, and a drop kick from the kitty cat. The cat daughter, Nekomusume, because Nekomusume is an actual yokai in Japanese folklore. They don't wrestle that much, and they don't usually do ankle locks, especially with a grapevine. Grapevine ankle. He's the real realizing, okay, I'm going to have to break that grip very, very quickly. And of course, Nekomusume, she's got those cat claws that allow her to just clutch and sink her claws literally into the flesh of her opponents. Makes it very hard to break the grip of those kind of wrestling holds. Edith Surreal will have the strength and power advantage here. She's going to be looking for the pounce. She's going to be looking for the leg drop, swing and a miss on that. And she's going to be looking for the Babe with the powerbomb. That's her gut wrench powerbomb finisher. She's shown incredible strength recently, lifting and slamming Nyla Rose on AEW Collision. I got to be pretty damn close to ringside for that match, actually. Only about 10 rows back. Ooh, hard shot. And a Beal toss all the way across the 20 by 20 foot ring. So that's a good, I think, 18 feet. The Willow Nightingale just got hurled. And she's not a light person. She's an athlete, but she's not exactly small. So for Wild Thing to be able to throw Willow Nightingale like that is an incredible show of strength. But once again, resorting to these wild strikes, the uncontrolled, the unscientific, the random AF. Wild Thing maybe looking for the Lycanthra Bomb. Yeah, she's got her in position. The Satsuwasa Lycanthra Bomb! But way too close to the enemy corner. No strategy. Just hitting whatever she thinks will work. Edith Surreal breaking up the hold. And Wild Thing trying to get a bit of revenge on that, but not so easy. Wild Thing should be focusing on Willow Nightingale, who's up to her knees. Well, never mind. Back down. Willow in trouble here. Irish whip. Yep, cross the rope.
5 minutes have elapsed. 10 remain.
And so far, this has been... Oh, here we go. Oh, wait a minute. Reversal of fortunes. And Willow realizing she was not in a position to grab the leg there, so that was going to be a bad cover. So she takes advantage of the escape of the hold and just gets right back to work. That's the intelligence of a Willow Nightingale. Once again, over the top rope, down to the floor. I thought Willow was going to have the wherewithal to bounce off the ropes after that one, but now... I don't know what Wild Thing did. Wild Thing building up a head of steam here. And just kind of running around like crazy, because she's got the zoomies. I don't know. Belly-to-belly slam on the outside. 20 count in effect, of course. And this could go until the referee says that somebody's not going anymore. I don't know. Edith Surreal brought in illegally and brought in the hard way. The referee's not going to disqualify for that immediately. But good grief. This is our last tag team match of the evening. Coming up next, we're going to have the debut of a brand new Augment. Dr. Jigoku has apparently outsourced the creation of this one. We're also going to have our grudge match between Amy Wade and Athena Jane. That's our semifinal match. And in the main event, the Grand Championship on the line. Black Tiger Justice defending against Matt Classic Sr. All to play for tonight on AWL Strong and Free. From right here in Canada's Greater Toronto area, the GTA. And the tag is made. In comes Edith Surreal. And Edith Surreal, the more agile, I would say, of the two members of her team, so this is a good matchup against Neko Musume. Edith blocks, the Ephemeral Queen looking to gain advantage, but the Cat just too quick and too coordinated for the tricks and the techniques of Edith Surreal at this juncture. Oh, wait a minute, I spoke too soon, drop toe hold, transition straight into an STF. Had to be broken up by Wild Thing. One in, one out, those are the rules. Your legal combatants are Edith Surreal and Neko Musume. I'm not entirely sure Edith realizes that as she goes to the outside, looks for that back body drop. Boom! Right across the steel superstructure of that AWL ring. Vaulting over the steel steps to save a second. And gets right back to working on the leg. The same leg that she was working over when she got to that STF. She likes to build up the Venus flytrap as well, the Surreality lock. She's a well-trained submission wrestler. One of the most prolific young Lions Cup champions of all time. And having to fend off two opponents at once here. Neko Musume using that to her advantage to take a breath. Ooh! And once again, if it worked once, you try it again. Backdrop, that'll reset the count. Now it's Nekamusume back in the ring. And Edith Surreal, I think, making a challenge, saying, come on out here, stunner to Willow Nightingale. Oh, swing and a miss with the Bulldog. Just barely, Nekamusume escapes, back elbow. This is coming down to a brawl. Oh, big boot! She's out. Yeah. The referee calls Nekamusume unconscious after that last big boot. We'll see if we've got... Do we have that on the replay? I think we do. Oh, right, yeah, right there. Boom. Gone.
Here are your winners, Edith Surreal and Willow Nightingale.
And with that, these two enter the AWL Best 4 of the Joshi Tag Team Division. The Augments and Tag Team Supremacy are officially on notice. Congratulations to the Babe with the Power and the Ephemeral Queen. But that's enough of the good news tonight. The bad news is we've got a brand new mystery augment. We know that a former colleague of Dr. Jigoku did most of the work on this one, apparently. Now, no hint from the music. Just a generic... What? Well, he looks a little bit different than we might be used to. But that's Calyx the Castigator! Oh my god. The former colleague, Professor Nicodemus!
The following contest is scheduled for one fall, already in the ring.
Oh,
Fighting
no.
the streets of Niigata, Thug Life, Tanaka Kenichi, and his opponent, representing the Beauteous Wheel, from the laboratory of Professor Nicodemus, accompanied by Dr. Jigoku, Big Alex!
Well, he looks a bit different than I remember him, but that is definitely Calyx the Castigator, 1/3 of the Proteus Wheel from the latter days of Chikara. I've long suspected that Professor Nicodemus and Dr. Jigoku had some kind of relationship. There's only so many mad scientists in the world of professional wrestling, they have to know each other. But the biological experimentation of the Proteus Wheel. You can see that Proteus Wheel sigil still on the ring gear of Big Calyx. And a little bit of trivia, this is set to be, if he loses, and let's face it, he's probably going to lose, Tanaka Kenichi's 100th career loss. But enough about Tanaka Kenichi. Let's talk about Big Calyx. If you're not familiar with this guy, during the latter days of Chikara, a mysterious mad scientist named Professor Nicodemus debuted a trio of hulking giants known as the Proteus Wheel that apparently were the result of his own experimentations. His, what he called transformative therapy that made wrestlers, or wrestlers as he would pronounce it, bigger, stronger, smarter, more aggressive. And he had some shady dealings. Very, very shady dealings. But no one's heard from him in years. And now Dr. Jigoku reveals that they're former colleagues. Where, when, with whom, who do they work for? I have no idea. But we're all about to deal with this apparently newest member of the Augments, Calyx the Castigator. He doesn't look like one of Dr. Jigoku's bastardizations of the mad science, and he isn't. He is a lot more biological than anything Dr. Jigoku has ever come up with. But He is by no means a baseline human being. And I think this is definitely going to be the 100th loss for Thug Life Tanaka Kenichi, who comes into this match 60 wins, 99 loss. Oh god, he sat on him. And he's already got bad ribs from when the Devastation Corporation beat him near to death when his checks started bouncing. And that was a desperation maneuver, that jawbreaker. And so far, Tanaka Kenichi has been lucky to last 2 minutes with Calyx the Castigator, Big Calyx, whatever he's called now, still bearing the sigil of the Proteus wheel. Oh, wow. He's going to snap him in half. He's going to break his spine. Oh, wait a minute. The whole body being used for the takedown. Maybe Calyx a little bit rusty. I don't know. I know he's been trying to regain his own identity, regain his own soul, wrestling on the U.S. independent circuit, but I didn't realize... I mean, I don't know. I have no idea what we're looking at here. It's insane. An impressive DDT, however, by Tanaka Kenichi. Let's see if we can figure out where has... Uh-oh. The massive man monster, known to use a variety of big slams, choke slams, power bombs, black hole slams, etc. In recent years, he's been wrestling around the United States. Invictus Pro Wrestling, wrestling in the USA, Labor of Love, a bunch of different promotions. But he had recently pretty much dropped off the radar. Parallel Snapmare by Tanaka Kenichi, and already Dr. Jigoku may be regretting his purchase here. Oh, elbow drop from the top, but I don't think it's going to do any real lasting damage. Collar and elbow tie up, off of the ropes, drop toe hold. And oh look, Tanaka Kenichi doing something stupid. And he's going to regret that. Walking across the back of Calyx the Castigator, not going to do any damage whatsoever. Ooh, running knee strike right to the temple. That could be a knockout. Oh god. The monster on the outside of the ring. What does he think? Oh, good grief! He just ripped him off the ground by his ankle. A human leg not designed to work that way.
5 minutes have elapsed. 5 remaining.
Oh no. No. This is going to be attempted murder. Oh, Jesus Christ. Elbow drop from the top. And the referee taking forever to make the count. But it does not matter. The newest Augment, Big Calyx, victorious in his Animated Wrestling League debut. Black hole slam, elbow drop from the top. Unbelievable.
Here is your winner, Big Calyx.
We are all in very big trouble. Ladies and gentlemen, shit's about to hit the fan.
The The following contest is a grudge match. The Animated Wrestling League shall not be held liable for anything that may result.
Yeah, I'm sure that's going to keep the lawyers off of our backs. But seriously, folks, in this match, there are no disqualifications, there are no countouts. Balls count anywhere, and frankly, we're just going to let these two fight until they settle things. Neither wrestler is going to be paid for this match. Neither wrestler will have this match reflected in their win-loss record, and the referee is being paid by the wrestlers. They have agreed to split the referee's booking fee 50-50. That's a requirement for a grudge match because the AWL, we have washed our hands of this. Amy Wade refused a one-on-one match with Athena Jane after Athena Jane's, quite frankly, racist language against the champion. And frankly, I think that's Amy Wade, being the better woman, being the better human, just saying, look, I just don't need to deal with this, screw you, go away. But then the accusations of cowardice come into play, that Amy Wade is protecting her precious win-loss streak, her precious undefeated streak. But I don't think that's it. I think Amy Wade just doesn't like the person that she becomes when it comes to dealing with this sort of garbage. There's an old saying, them's fighting words. And now it's time for some fighting, and she is still the champion. Title not on the line, win streak is not on the line. But this is as personal as it gets. They were tag team partners. They were #1 contenders to the Joshi tag team titles. And that's all been ruined by Athena Jane. Amy Wade wanted to walk away. She wanted to be the adult in this situation. But it's come down to this. Here we go. No time limit. They're just going to fight to the finish. And there we go. The knockout knee. Is that going to be it? That quickly? No. Oh, that would have been funny. All this build-up for a, 6-second match. Ooh, nice German suplex, taking advantage of the height differential. And the low center of gravity there, collar and elbow tie-up. Now, these two are professional wrestlers. They're going to default to these kind of wrestling holds, like the collar and elbow tie-up or the Irish whip or something like that. That's wrestler's instinct. Not everybody immediately goes to the board of forks and the handful of skewers. Especially when you've got two powerhouse athletes, the likes of the Giantess, Athena Jane, and the three-sport athlete. One of those sports, of course, being powerlifting, like Amy Wade, knowing exactly how to hurt somebody without needing weapons. Though they can be useful. Now, there is a referee in the ring. They are there purely to acknowledge the finish. And I think, basically to acknowledge when either there's a pinfall, a submission, or one of these wrestlers cannot continue. Ooh, nasty looking lariat. Now this match is going to go on as long as it needs to go. We don't have a time limit here. However, I can tell you that our main event for the AWL Grand Championship is our next contest. Ooh! Okay, that was incredibly dangerous. Russian leg sweep, very close to the pointed corner of those steel steps. That could crack your skull, quite frankly. Those aren't solid metal, they're hollow, of course, but still, pointy metal thing, not good. Very, very, very dangerous. Athena Jane able to put the brakes on there, but not the second time. Under the ring we go. What kind of oh, Jesus Christ, that's a sledgehammer. Okay, this just became a career-shortening match. Yeah, I mean, there's some things you just do not call people, especially, you know, let's be honest here, you don't call people of color certain epithets. That's ridiculous. You don't do it. And frankly, if it gets you hit, it gets you hit. But this is a little more personal. This is, you know, Amy Wade, I think, was looking forward to the professional challenge of being AWL Joshi champion and tag team champion simultaneously. She was looking forward to that double schedule. She was looking forward to basically proving herself the best female wrestler we've ever had. And now that's been taken away from her. So there's the professional aspect, there's the personal aspect of the, you know, pretty blatant racism. So I can understand why Amy is this pissed off, that she would agree to a grudge match, that she would, and then the insult that you're a coward. Amy Wade is many, many things. She is not a coward. She has taken on every challenge that has been put in front of her entire career. And she has been dominant. 18 wins and 0 losses. We haven't had a win-loss. We haven't had an undefeated streak like that since Wonder Kid back in Season 0. And he made it up to, I believe it was 25 wins before he was finally defeated, I think, by Gamba. Though I may have that wrong. And there was a baseball bat. The crowd chanting that they would like a table, please. Preferably near a window, not too near the band. But they're getting baseball bats and sledgehammers, and they're gonna like it, dagnabbit. Ooh! Big mistake by Athena Jane there. Double leg takedown into the mount position. This is all on the outside. This is legalized felonious assault, ladies and gentlemen. That's all this is. This is not a wrestling match. This is a back of the knee, going for that cluster of nerves behind the kneecap. The AWL mandated knee pads will offer minimal protection there, and not a lot of it. And here's the baseball bat knocked from the hands of the modern-day Amazon. Surprised she didn't bring out a broadsword. I have no idea how Athena Jane is standing right now. Sledgehammers and baseball bats. To the legs, to the knees. And she's gonna do it again. Oh! Now going after the hand. That's the hand that she uses for that Tartarusian choke slam. Adrenaline will fuel Athena Jane for at least a few minutes. I mean, Daniel Bryan was able to wrestle with a broken arm for 10 minutes. And somehow, with her... she's got to have some broken bones in that hand. But Athena Jane is still able to stand, still able to fight. Big boot, jumping big boot by the AWL Joshi champion. I wouldn't... oh, great. Going into the Shinai now. Oh, the bamboo wrapped in twine. Suplex tossed as a counter, and now Amy Wade with the weapon. Amy Wade with a sword finally. Oh! Trying to snap some ribs. Superwoman punch. And the referee saying no more. Athena Jane, she's got broken bones in her hands, an injury to her knee. And that was the first move of the match right there, that knockout knee strike. But in the end, Superwoman punch, the Shinai goes flying. There are no winners, there are no losers in the grudge match. There is only one survivor, and it is the undefeated true Toronto star, Amy Wade. Alright, they've been warmed up for that entire grudge match because we had no idea how long that was going to go. Let's do this.
The following contest is your main event of the evening. It is scheduled for one fall, one submission and knockout to decide the winner, and it is for the Animated Wrestling League Grand Championship.
Matt Classic, the inventor of professional wrestling. The world's oldest active pro wrestler. He's been wrestling since 19... He is a former AWL Grand Champion. He was the 24th AWL Grand Champion. Won that title at the Golden War just over a year ago. Golden War 2022. 0 successful title defenses. He lost it to Project Tetsu at AWL Strong and Free episode 10. But now he faces the 26th AWL Grand Champion. He's held that title for 41 episodes of AWL Strong and Free. He's defended it 6 times across both AWL promotions. Hontai, Strong and Free, he has been everywhere. And he's been doing one hell of a job as the champion. By mutual agreement, there will be no tag team partners, no cornermen, no managers. These two want to handle this one-on-one. And there you see it, the most important prize in all of animated wrestling, the AWL Grand Championship. He's within striking distance of the 10 title defenses that constitute the current record. This is defense number 7. The conversation has to start. Can he do it? Can we see V11? But right now, Grand Champion just has to get through the ultimate senpai.
Introducing first the challenger, fighting out of the smoke-filled arenas of yesteryear. He is the inventor of professional wrestling, and a Matt Classic. And his opponent, he is the reigning and defending Animated Wrestling League Grand Champion tonight, making his 7th title defense, fighting out of and representing the unified school of the Tiger Style, Black Tanaka. Yes. This is an officially sanctioned Grand Championship match under the auspices of the Animated Wrestling League, AWL Commissioner presiding. At the sound of the bell, AWL Senior Official, Joey Papaganoush, in charge.
The debris and detritus have been cleared from the ring. We're ready for the main event. And the fans know what is at stake, the most prestigious prize in animated wrestling. And a show of sportsmanship and respect, with a little bit of universe hopping because this game can be kind of janky. And backbreaker over the exposed knee. Matt Classic Sr., of course, one of the only wrestlers in the AWL with permission to wrestle without knee pads. It's sort of a grandfather clause in his case, and again, everything's a grandfather clause with him. The oldest active professional wrestler in the world. He is... Every time he gets a championship match, which doesn't happen all that often, this is his first title match since losing the belt over a year ago. And he knows that these opportunities may not come around again. Leg drop off of the top rope. I hate that Black Tiger Justice does that. But hey, title defenses, sometimes you need to use those riskier maneuvers. Hulk Hogan, the man who made the leg drop famous in wrestling, basically uses a wheelchair now. He cannot effing walk. at least most of the time, and boots to the midsection in the corner. The champion in control in the early seconds of the contest, but a minute 10 now. BTJ thinking of building up some momentum, but no. Decides I need to work on the arm, and that's smart. You work on the right arm of the orthodox striker, Matt Classic. You can take away that classic claw. Take away the classic claw, and this is a quick, easy match for the champion. Collar and elbow again. Nice hip tossing, just very simple, classic, literally old, traditional professional wrestling techniques with a little bit of innovation. What could have been a simple power slam into the top turnbuckle, the Snake Eyes. Matt Classic Sr., 75 wins, 49 losses in his AWL career. Black Tiger Justice, 63 wins and 37 losses. So the experience factor and the victory factor goes to Matt Classic, but they are tied in terms of win-loss ratio. Number of wins minus number of losses, tied at 26. So they've had very different careers, but they're at pretty much the exact same place, except for one big difference, and that is that Black Tiger Justice is the grand champion. Matt Classic fighting out of his wheelhouse right now on the outside. Champion's advantage, of course, in play, left hand. And you can see that already damage has been done to the right arm of Matt Classic. You notice he's struck with the left. He's not a southpaw. So those punches, those shots, those open forearms, those are going to have less impact. So already that's advantage, Black Tiger Justice. We will say, wait a minute, abdominal stretch. You can't get a submission on the outside, but you don't. I think Matt Classic invented the abdominal stretch when it comes to professional wrestling, so you don't want to try to use that type of thing. You want to focus on, there we go. You want to focus on the crazy shit that nobody in his day would have ever done. Black Tiger Justice, his reason for being, his raison d'etre, is that he wants to bring glory and honor to the name of Black Tiger, a name traditionally associated with evil and foreignness. And we see it right there. He could have probably taken a count-out victory and retention right there. But he wants to win it in the ring. He wants to win it fair and square. Pinfall, submission, or knockout to decide the winner here. And Classic trying to strike with that right arm. Not doing a whole lot of damage, but the right leg does. As Matt hits the Irish whip, going for the... No, goes for the shoulder tackle, but blocks it. Irish whip into the corner now. Okay, he's managed to shake some feeling back into that arm, that big clothesline. Big back body drop by a AWL Grand Slam champion. Cover for the 1, 2. He's held the Grand Championship, Tag Team title, Intercontinental title, and he won the Oshogatsu Taikai all the way back in 2012, more than 10 years ago. As we're about to hit the first time call of this match. All the time in the world for these men to get it done, and that, I'd say that actually does benefit Matt Classic, because in the old days, 60-minute Broadways, those happened. Those happened a lot more frequently than they do now. So the longer this goes, I'd say the more it's going to favor the challenger, ironically.
5 minutes have elapsed. 25 remain.
No one's ever questioned the cardio of Black Tiger Justice, but I think just that mentality of the long-haul wrestler. And wait a minute. Oh! Tiger's Destroyer! Straight out of the Unified School of the Tiger style. He's incorporated that this season. That's a new trick in his offense. But he's still going to look for Black Tiger Buster. He's going to look for the Black Tiger Bomb. Hurricane Rana. Black Tiger Suplex. Black Tiger Justice has so many ways to beat you. Matt's going to look for the classic claw. He's going to look for the aeroplane spin. He's going to look for the big back body drop. Oh no. Matt doing what he does not do. Big splash off of the top. Connects with a 1, 2. And I think that was Matt Classic's best chance at becoming AWL Grand Champion for a second time. BTJ. Oh, wait a minute. Going for an armbar. Almost into a Fujiwara, except he doesn't really like those foreigners that much. But a roll through into a head scissors. Takeover. Great counter wrestling by the AWL Grand Champion, showing why he is the top champion in the AWL, in animated wrestling, in YouTube wrestling, dare I say, in professional wrestling. And he's going for it right now. Black Tiger Buster! He's Satsuwaza, the Black Tiger Buster. 1, 2, 3. Matt Classic kicks out of the Black Tiger Buster. What are we thinking here? We're thinking the Black Tiger Salt. Hits it flush. Perfectly perpendicular. With a back splash, a senton to follow. And now the champion, he's got to regain his poise. He hit the Black Tiger Buster. He must have thought, that's it. 7th title defense in the bag. Now he's getting back to basics here with a side suplex. And just throwing his body weight, every ounce of his body weight, into Matt Classic Sr. And that's smart. Take it, he's at a weight disadvantage here, is the champion, so make every ounce count. It works. And we're going now for the inescapable Black Tiger Salt. Can he hit it? The rollaway attempt, not successful. Inescapable Black Tiger Salt. But a moment's hesitation into the corner. 1, into the cover. 2, and that half-second hesitation, the difference between victory and defeat. But is it time to pull something out of the bag? I think it is. He's looking for it. Black Tiger Bomb! And the referee says that is a knockout. Black Tiger Justice V7. Black Tiger Buster. Inescapable Black Tiger Salt. Now watch the hesitation here. He gets up before going back down, but he finishes up with the Black Tiger Bomb.
Here's your winner, and still Animated Wrestling League.
Now hang on a second here. A little conversation and a show of respect. Given and agreed. Ladies and gentlemen, your grand champion. Let's make that an official announcement, please.
Here's your winner, and still Animated Wrestling League Grand Champion, Black Tiger Justice.
Congratulations, BTJ. But he's got trouble on the horizon. The next challenger, Jigoku Destroy. We'll see you next time. Korede, Kimarida.